So on January 28th of this year, former Attorney General Pam Bondi came to town for a propaganda show. And the purpose of her propaganda show was to announce the charges against 22 people who had been arrested by ICE and released previously. And they were all trotted through this courthouse and through the courthouse in St. Paul and had their photos taken. Their photos weren't digitally altered in a demeaning and racist way the way the photo of Nikema was, but their photos were posted in this demeaning way with lies about them. And then their cases started to go through the legal system. They were defended by many of the people standing around me. We had judges that at least stood up to the false charges. Over half of those charges have already been dismissed outright. They were based on lies. They were based on false information. They were based on violation of judicial orders. And now today, 15 more people are going to go through that process. And the same thing will be true of the charges that the people are facing today. I was just up in the press conference held by United States Attorney Daniel Rosen. It was a propaganda show. He talked that people were being prosecuted for their acts, not their thoughts, and then recited their thoughts. Somebody posting that we need to become ungovernable. What's wrong with being ungovernable by a fascist government? But I want to be clear today, I also want to speak as a lawyer and talk about the particular legal moment that we're in and that this country is in. The announcement today is not about law enforcement. Even if you believe all the allegations made, this is the type of stuff that gets prosecuted as misdemeanors in state court, not as federal felonies with a coordinated propaganda show by the U.S. Attorney. This is not about law enforcement. This is an act of political repression. It's designed to punish and intimidate. It's designed to target the opponents of this administration based upon their thoughts and their politics, just as President Trump announced back on September 25th of 2025 when he labeled Antifa an ideological belief, wildly diverse. He labeled it a domestic terrorist organization, a designation which does not exist in law, and called for the full weight of the federal government, federal law enforcement, to target people because they had beliefs that he thought were anti-American, anti-Christian, or anti-capitalist.
We will not be intimidated!
Well, that's what's happening now, and that's what Daniel Rosen, the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota, announced today. The same Daniel Rosen who saw mass resignations from his office when instead of investigating and prosecuting the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, he called for investigations of their family and friends for the same charges that he announced today. Impeding ICE, impeding the kidnapping of our neighbors, impeding the use of tear gas in our neighborhoods, impeding the breaking of windows on lawful constitutional observers. That's what they announced today. The same U.S. Attorney, Daniel Rosen, who's done nothing to hold the murderers of Alex Preddy and Renee Good to account. The same Daniel Rosen, overseeing an office that has repeatedly violated judicial orders, misrepresented law and facts in court, brought prosecutions based on lies by ICE agents, and which has been forced to dismiss the vast majority of cases it has brought to date. That's what this is about. It's about furthering a false narrative, the lies of ICE agents, and attacking the political opponents of a budding fascist government.
That's right.
We call today for the community at large and the legal community in particular to form an anti-repression task force. We must see this as more than defending individual cases in court, as more than responding to the crises thrust upon us by the invasion of our community and by the abuse of federal law enforcement. We need to see this as a broader political act of repression that it is, and which has been going on in this community since December. I also have a message that we must share, all of us, with our state and local elected officials. Whatever you may have thought of federal law enforcement in the past, its true role is now crystal clear. Our state and local law enforcement agencies, yes, they failed to protect us during Operation Metro Surge. Yes, they facilitated the abuses of ICE. But it is time more than ever now that they're going after people based on thought, based on their political opinion, to cease all local and state cooperation with all federal law enforcement agencies. Not just ICE, not just the Department of Homeland Security, not just Homeland Security, but every federal agency is being drugged into this project of building fascism. The National Lawyers Guild has fought it since 1937. We will continue to fight it today.